In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to a show called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
No, it's you.
Oh,
How long have we not done this for?
Oh no, I'm Nick.
Why are you pointing at me? I'm Chris. How long was that? That was about 3 seconds.
Long enough to consider doing a retake, I can tell you.
We're not going to do it though,
I'm
are
not
we?
going to do a retake. No, here we are.
Hello, everyone.
Nick's definitely second for the record.
I mean, who can really say?
What? Who's second? As
Yeah,
in
or
what the
what-
hierarchy of the three positions are. I'm definitely higher than Chris. So
Well,
yeah.
That's bullshit.
Interesting that you went straight to hierarchy. I was thinking, just speaking order, but no.
I'm always thinking about importance when it comes to this show.
It's important to maintain our standards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that is synonymous with a show called Hey, it's regularity and frequency and
Professionalism.
and certainly never letting. Was it a year? 6
Well,
months?
let's round it down to the nearest week.
52 weeks.
It's maybe been a while since we last recorded, but
Maybe
we're
a
back.
little while. Yeah.
Maybe we ran out of hate. Maybe we just had.
No, I don't think it was that.
No. Oh yeah.
My phone kept filling up in the meantime, so I don't think that's it.
Oh, you've kept the ledger going.
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah.
No, I just took up kind of screaming in the garden.
Into a pillow.
Neighbours love you right now.
But he's back again.
It's just a screaming boy.
I hope he starts recording that podcast again soon. Otherwise he may go mental.
It's the only relief we ever get.
Well, I mean, speaking of neighbours and speaking of new things, I mean, we all bought.
Were we speaking about new things?
Well, we are now.
We are now. I see. Very good.
You're
Very
killing
good.
me.
Play with
It's
him.
very
Not
good.
play with
Yes.
him.
No, that was excellent segue.
How do you podcast again?
How do you record a voice on the radio show?
We're back.
Just about.
It's been, if not a year, the better part of a year. It's
Yeah.
now
We're not
2019.
recording at the moment, are
Oh
we?
my god.
Oh shit.
Imagine that.
No, you're just
Imagine that.
You're just sitting in a padded room for fun.
Well, that's what I do a lot of the time at the moment. Since we stopped doing the podcast, I need the padded room.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call a segue because we are actually, for the first time ever, in our dedicated home podcast studio.
Yes, it's very nice.
It's delightful.
This really is a kind of like baptism of fire because I've spent a lot of effort trying to get this room functional.
Tell us about how you did the room, John.
Well, I'll tell you.
I think you should.
The first thing
Well, I
I
bloody
did,
asked.
first thing I did was take out a mortgage and incur more debt than I've ever even seen written on a piece of paper.
Because you bought this house purely for a podcast.
Oh,
studio,
entirely.
didn't
And
you?
the rest of the house is barren.
Yeah.
Like.
It's like
Me
a desert.
and Nick lent on you for quite a few months to buy this house so we could record a podcast
Oh,
in it.
entirely, no.
And it's finally happening.
And you were right to take my kneecaps.
Yeah,
we live in
well,
your garden.
I'd do it again.
Thank you. You're a real friend.
You don't need them.
But no, because, Lucy and I bought our first house.
Ali and I bought a house.
You bought
We also bought a house. My second
house.
house, although I did sell the first
Oh,
one.
good, yes.
You don't
I don't
own
own
two
two houses. I'm not.
Because
I haven't-
capital gains.
I've not got that much land.
Chris, 2 houses.
Yeah, that's what they'll call me. Two houses is coming.
Yeah.
That's all Johnny Bigland.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the lawnmower Ray's coming over.
Acres for shoes. That's what they'll call it.
No, I own one house jointly with Liz.
Oh, indeed, yes.
Delightful.
So I've just cycled over from there to here.
Split in the biblical fashion.
Of course.
Down the middle.
There's a big chalk line down the middle of the house. She's not allowed on my side. Mine's my side.
Well, like a regular odd couple.
I don't agree to that.
Well, but yeah, having bought a house and not having any dependents and being a horrible
Millennial.
we're like, let's have a podcast studio. So our box room, in which we are now kind of sitting,
We are, yeah.
is
I can validate that.
That's where we are today.
this really is a christening. Like I've not really like even sat in this room. I mean, I've laid on the floor crying, like trying to get like padding to
Oh,
fill.
we've all done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, in here.
Oh, indeed.
Well, I believe your padding attempts were the third time successful.
Yeah, so it turns out buying like home baffling, home padding.
It's like audio baffling, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah, because it's not soundproofing.
Looks like little foam pyramids all over your walls.
The sound quality is better in this room than the other rooms of the house, if I may say so.
I'm getting paranoid about the echo. I feel there's a slight echo.
Contact us on Facebook if you think
if you think there's an echo.
Contact your local.
There's not a lot.
You can write to us on Facebook, but we'll have already recorded it.
You can put it as your hate. Like, I hate those boys with their
write
echoey
to your
room.
local member of parliament.
Yes, right.
They're not very busy at the moment, are they?
No, there's not really much going on.
There's not too much happening.
No, ask them to stockpile tinned goods.
Yeah.
And also
remember to ask them if you can hold the Brexit £10 note for a while. just to remember the touch of money.
Oh man,
I've got a chest freezer
when there is
full
none.
of croissants just in case.
Yeah, I've got.
Well, this is it. I won't be able to get them after it, will I? That's how it
This
works.
is French produce. People like you.
10 years from now, people will be listening to this going, "What is a croissant?
I've
I've never heard of a croissant."
I mean, in many ways, our car manufacturing industry has collapsed, but the real jellied eel market has never been greater.
We are amping up the fish and chip suppers to the next level.
Well, 3 years ago, people were saying we are all going to prosper from Brexit. Everyone is going to prosper.
Everyone.
And now they're saying there will be ample food.
There
may be ample food.
There's a good chance everyone will get one meal a week.
Yeah.
There's a good chance of that.
there was a guy, because we've been having like these pretend traffic jams in Kent,
right?
To try and work out how.
I can't think of anything worse than like virtually creating traffic jams.
Imagine getting to a point in your life where you're like an out of work actor, let's say, and someone says, "Hey,
yeah, that's how it works."
Steve, would you like to pretend to be in a traffic jam? Would I?
Hey, you've got experience of being out of work.
Yeah.
This might be my big chance.
So they just have to sit there in traffic.
So lorries have been lining up on a motorway,
right,
just to test the capabilities of the motorway
where
the ports shut down.
Oh my god!
And how it will now take like 10 minutes to screen every van rather than 10 seconds. And one of the journalists writing about it was like, "I'm now in a traffic jam." Driving to a fake traffic jam.
Oh my god!
He said, "In the 30 years,
what's my life become?"
He said, "In the 30 years I've been reporting, this is the stupidest thing I've ever had to do."
Oh my god, that's.
Did we promise we wouldn't talk about Brexit?
We said we were going to save all our Brexit hate for a special episode.
It's
but look at
it's
this.
very difficult not for it to overspill, frankly.
But no, where were we?
There will be a Brexit special at some point.
Yeah, hold on to your butts.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't remember what I was talking about, but yeah, apparently
The studio.
Oh yeah. How did we get on to Brexit this quickly?
It's not.
I'm sure it'll happen again.
It's always at the forefront of my mind. But no, the only thing more annoying than Brexit is trying to get foam tiles to stick to the wall.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
They do say that.
Because they came with some like delightful little double-sided tabs.
Oh, how delightful! How optimistic.
They sound robust, John. Please tell me more.
Well, you wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah.
I remember putting them up on the wall, feeling very proud of myself. Coming back in the morning, and they have all like the entire floor is just.
Sorry.
Oh, what could that be? And the entire floor is just littered in tiles. Like they lasted
all of them,
maybe an hour.
Excellent.
Maybe less.
Maybe less.
So then I bought some heavy-duty, super strength, double-sided carpet tape.
Oh, no, that's gonna work.
That works.
As in the type of adhesive that keeps carpet on the floor.
If there's one thing all these nails in the wall say to me, John, it's that definitely worked.
Yeah. You know the cover of Hellraiser? That guy it's kind of like that in here.
Yeah, please do not touch any of the surfaces. You will bleed. And yeah, that didn't work either. So in desperation, I took a load of nails, and there's really it's like the glue and the nails are supporting each other.
Oh, it's like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, so the nails are not really load bearing; they're just there to kind of take the edge off.
Yeah.
Gravity.
To sort of teach the tape what you want from it.
Now, admittedly, I did come in yesterday, and there was a tile on the floor with a nail in it.
Right. That's a really bad sign.
Yeah.
That's an omen.
So I feel this is
At some point during the recording, whether it's today or not, one of them will fall off.
I will scream.
Which is why we have provided protective eyewear. do not look at the wall.
Ow!
Yeah, if you're very lucky, you may only be partially.
Yeah. Do we have insurance?
Do we have a format? What?
Yeah.
Podcast insurance.
What are we recording today?
Oh yeah, we bring hates and shit, don't we?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what
Oh,
we're
that's
do-
right.
What we're doing is we're recording a very special episode.
Comeback episode.
Of a show called Hate.
They're calling it a comeback that nobody asked for.
Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years, just not recording.
We
We've still been like seeing each other, sort of.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Kind of.
We've tried not to talk, at least.
Yeah, because we're saving that for this.
Not about hates.
That's
but,
why we're so
yeah.
eloquent now, because we've
No.
saved all the talk up.
Mind you, we've been talking about a lot about Brexit.
Have you missed the show?
What do you mean by
Yeah.
missed exactly?
Well,
I didn't
as
listen
in-
to it.
As in, you enjoyed doing it?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
I feel like,
let's
yeah.
say yes.
Let's take a different tack. Have you felt the hate has built up in, like not
I feel
having
like
this opportunity?
hate-
I had a few
Constipated.
to choose from today.
Hates-to-pated.
I'm really backed up with hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might all just like fall out like a terracotta pot out of my
Yeah.
mouth if I'm not careful.
Impaled on a clay tree.
Yeah, exactly. Deposit a teddy bear's arm, that sort of thing.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that statement. Yeah.
I was so listening to that.
Oh,
Yeah, you were switched
I
on.
was
You
so
were
listening to that.
switched
What
on,
Nick
mate,
just
sir.
said.
There's a certain. God, I'm just flip flopping all over the place. I'm coming back to my own brilliance now. It's just nice to sit at a table.
Yeah.
In relatively comfy.
That was
chairs.
something
Well-
I was going to say that we didn't get to. Is that we have a table, we have mics on the table, there are holes in the middle of the
We've got
table
these,
for the mic cables to go in.
spit
Yeah, we got
covers.
these spit circles.
And I can assure you, listener, they're getting a workout.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mine weighs about 2 times what it did when I walked in.
Dripping, man.
Ugh.
creak.
Yeah.
It's very front heavy.
But you've drilled some nice holes in this table,
Oh,
John.
thank you, yes,
like
no.
on purpose.
Yeah.
Now, Nick, you know
Hello.
the name of that tool.
It's a tank cutter, my friend.
A tank
Mm.
cutter.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called that. I just remember that from DT at school.
Sounds very badass.
Yeah, man.
It does. Well, I borrowed it off you as well. So you and me lend each other tools now.
Yeah,
That's the kind of guys we are.
I know.
You're like dads.
I just want to.
Yeah,
I want to get on in this tool exchange.
And the best thing about it is I didn't completely fuck up my project.
I know.
Not
So-
completely.
Give me 9.
No, yeah, yeah. According to my attorneys, no, I think we both did successful projects. I did what I meant to do, which for a DIY project for me is pretty good.
Yes, no, it's quite impressive. Yeah, and you didn't bleed.
Not as far as I know.
Not extensively.
No,
anyway.
I'm actually kind of.
I didn't notice any bleeding.
Well, I've said it now. I was saying I'm actually kind of impressed that in the last 6 months of DIY.
DIY.
DI, yes.
DIY.
But like having spent the better part of a year just kind of making a house kind of habitable,
Yeah.
I'm amazed I haven't injured myself more.
I did.
You did, didn't you?
When you helped us moved in. Moved
in, wow.
It's all going
helped
wrong.
us
Speaking-
moved in.
Speaking good heart.
With
yeah.
less than 15 minutes in.
Lacerated a finger open on a fridge freezer, which was a
It's
great day.
impressive.
Yeah.
Drawing finger as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
John was
Believe
like,
me,
we're
I-
ruined.
Yeah. Not the drawing finger.
Yeah, you were in pain.
You were tearing your hair out. You were lying on the floor, rocking back and forth, crying. I was just like, come on, man, I'm bleeding a bit here. I was like, no, we're ruined.
You're like, call me an ambulance. I can't. I'm speaking to our accountant.
Oh my god, the share price of Big Punch Studios has gone
Yeah.
to the floor. No, it's fine, actually. It's fine. I'm fine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I'm pleased
yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
To a degree.
it does get like I found myself buying a 14mm drill bit the other day,
Mm.
and of course,
Well,
as-
how much is that bad boy costing you?
Yeah.
well, it was like we also bought like some polyfiller.
Oh, sure.
And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
something else that was important, like a cape. Something. What else could we buy? Oh, it's irrelevant. But we've got so much DIY crap lying around now.
Yeah, no, I've got like a room full of them.
Full of the
That's why I like
DIYs.
drills.
Yeah.
But it's like, as we all know, being,
People.
just handy.
We're really.
Oh,
if there's
I-
one word that I would use to describe us three, it's handy.
Handy,
Yeah.
self-sufficient,
Yes, definitely that one.
capable.
Grown up.
Is that as the drill bit gets wider, it also gets longer?
Well, oh,
Yeah,
right.
no-
I thought this was like a sort of moral haiku kind of Japanese
Maybe it
proverb
is.
you were giving me there.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
Let's
As the
riddle it
drill
out, yeah.
bit gets wider.
My point being is that because I had to drill a 14-bit hole.
Right,
and
that makes sense.
14mm hole.
Probably why you bought a 14
It's quite a bit. It's a pretty big hole if you don't mind me
Well,
saying,
you do,
John.
thank you. Yes, but I thought to myself,
Well, it's all about context. isn't it?
Well, I drilled a massive, big hole in the back
using
of my
your
drill.
using your tank
using
cutter,
my
yeah.
tank or your tank cutter.
my tank cutter. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still
Mine.
drilled it.
It's mine.
It's my teamwork.
It's part of my project to convert a chest of drawers into a TV unit, which has worked.
It's a fine
As
bar.
I say, you know.
That's a good
So,
project.
sorry, you were talking about your 14-inch.
All I'm trying to say is that you go into a shop thinking,
Very immature.
I'm going to buy a 14mm drill bit, and that'll just be a sensible purchase. And, and no one's going to bat an eyelid. But then, of course, you think, oh, it's just going to be a diddy little thing. It's actually like a foot long.
Yeah.
You know, so you do feel like a bit of a fool just trying to hang a cabinet with.
Drilling from the garden, sort of.
Yeah, this take a run up. Yeah, this didn't happen like immediately. It wasn't like, oh, I need to get a cabinet on the wall. I'm going to buy the biggest drill head
Known
the
to
world's
man.
ever seen. No,
Yeah.
it was a war of attrition.
Yeah.
You know,
It was an evolution of your original plan.
yeah, like that.
Let's call it that.
That basket didn't want to go on the wall.
No.
And we worked our way through a lot of different.
You taught it a lesson with a 14.
Oh.
It's on the
yeah.
wall now, though, John. And barring a massive crash during the recording of this episode, it will stay on the wall.
Yeah, if you completely ignore it falling off the wall,
Yeah.
it's still up there.
Yes, and remember, if you do hear quite a large crash, you'll shortly have to hear a second one as I throw myself out the Anyway, we do vaguely have a format on this show.
Well, yeah.
I don't really remember. What was it?
It's just
I don't really remember what it
Just
was.
nice to catch up with you guys.
Oh.
But we do have a format in which every week we each bring a hate and a love to the table.
That's,
so
why,
we can
that's why we
discuss them,
called it the show called Hate.
try and find some
it.
kind of closure, and then at the end of the episode we decide what won, love or hate.
I think I know what's going to win this week.
Oh.
Well, who's got hate? Who wants to get started?
I'll do it if you want.
Oh, look at that. He's
Should
so
I-
keen.
I'll do it.
Takes
I'm
away.
pretty keen.
You're,
Takes home,
you're
yeah.
turtle heading.
I
this thing, aren't you?
hate how, you know, at the moment, everyone's very sensitive about everything.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
so sensitive, and it's getting worse, in my opinion.
I've got sensitive.
Everyone has to apologise or explain bloody everything. Why? Why do I have... People apologise for... You read articles now. Bryan Cranston this week, for example, has had to apologise for playing a disabled man.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for that film.
And it's just, why?
Why on earth?
Why? Why? Why have we reached this point that this is a thing?
Why did he have to apologise for that?
Because people are getting offended.
But did anyone ask?
Because he's an able-bodied man playing a disabled person.
But Eddie Redmayne played.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Eddie Redmayne did not have early onset motor neurone disease.
Ooh, powerful words.
He didn't.
That's true. He did.
And he played Stephen Hawking wonderfully in
So-
that film, if you've ever seen it. And
Surely-
he won an Oscar for it.
Surely Bryan Cranston didn't feel the need to apologise for playing a disabled character.
But he had to explain. There's quotes from him explaining. He's like, I'm an actor. I like to take on different roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
literally
surely,
what acting is.
what I'm getting at is that someone put pressure on him to feel the need to apologise.
Exactly. That's the thing. There's people out there who are offended by him playing a disabled man, and I don't get it. I don't get why he needs to explain himself in that situation. And that's just an example I've seen this week.
Yeah.
Just generally speaking, people get offended by everything now.
You're walking a dangerous line, I feel.
I am, and that's part of why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Provocative. I
I'm
like
being
it.
provocative.
No, it's good. It's good to discuss it because I do think that we are in a culture where people can be held up for things that they say more because we have a lot more access to that information and people can be proven what things people have been said even behind closed doors in some cases. And some people will want to say disgusting and horrible things and then complain that people are getting offended by them.
Yeah.
No, they are saying offensive things, and that was true 100 years ago. It's true now.
Some people are assholes.
Yes,
That's-
exactly.
that's
and I think
in
it's
a
just a
nutshell.
point to clarify because your point about Bryan Cranston having to apologise for that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's when it gets ridiculous.
That's the thing. Bad things are bad.
Yes.
We all know things. We all know where the line is, so to speak. And I just feel like
I feel like we do.
a
We
lot
should do.
a lot of people just get offended for the sake of getting offended, for the sake of being seen to be offended by something that doesn't particularly offend them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a thorny one, isn't it? Because you always want to be. I mean, you want to look out for people.
Yeah.
You know, and
You don't want to be a dick to people.
And I feel often like this stuff is coming, I guess, from like a very good place. Like the
Sometimes I don't think that's
No.
always the case anymore, though.
No, I am with you to some extent on this because it's tough. Like, and you want to make sure you're always doing the right thing, and you want to make sure that like the people who maybe don't have a voice or have historically been treated badly are treated well. But I think there are definitely occasions where it almost goes a bit too far.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And
getting
I
at.
do
Yeah.
worry sometimes that it might be hurting some of those causes because then the flip side is you start to think, oh, these people all they do is complain.
Yeah.
When really, it's like they might have some legitimate points
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, there's actually a good example I can think of to support your point, which is recently it's a video game. So I'm sorry about this.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know your steadfast opinion on video games, but
Yeah.
there's a new one coming out, which is
Not
a sequel.
video, is it? It's not video.
It's a sequel to a game we had a couple of years ago. It's called The Last of Us, which is like about a zombie
I
survival
know the game. It's about a man and a little girl.
That's right. And
That's all I know.
Riot.
it is like
It sounds like that.
so much,
funniest,
so
most
much fun to
heartwarming
play.
games.
Yeah,
Death
love
is
having
funny,
that.
yeah.
Really good. Lots of mushrooms, and Mario has lots
Sure.
of mushrooms, and that's a lot of fun. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Um,
it's all the same.
in the new game, it's set a little bit further on, and the young girl who you saw from the first one is now a little bit more grown up.
I
and
see.
in the trailer for the game, she is seen to have a kiss with another woman. So
Oh.
there's a lesbian relationship
Sure.
developing in the story. Obviously, that's been quite praised. It's been handled
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
delicately and quite like don't know what the word is, but well,
Yeah,
basically overall. But there was a big outcry from people who are supportive of LGBT representation in video games, saying that this was shit because it was just tokenism. And they're just chucking it in there to try and sell a few more copies of their game. And it's like, I don't know if that's true. I don't know whether there was a talk around a boardroom table to like, let's put a lesbian scene in this game to sell more copies of the game. I find that quite unlikely, to be totally honest with you. But these very people who are looking for and hoping for representation in this medium that they love are now complaining about
Yeah.
the fact that they've got some
What
representation.
do you want?
Like you are harming your own, potentially harming your own
Yeah.
like angle here, and that's the line, isn't it? That's the worrying line we're on.
I think like with actors in particular, because it's like, actually, there's a really good point about Eddie Redmayne. Like I never even crossed. As you were saying, I was like, I mean, oh yeah, he plays Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
And no one batted an eyelid about that. It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like, if somebody like dressed up in blackface,
Yeah.
I think we'd all agree that's like,
That
really bad.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not what I'm saying.
The line's
Don't-
pretty clear.
No,
on that.
We know the line there.
So I think it would take.
So what you're saying-
that Chris Ray endorses
What Chris Ray is saying is everyone should go out and pretend to be disabled people. That's what you're saying.
and never apologise for blackface. is
Never.
what Chris Ray is.
Someone switch my mic off.
I'm in too deep.
Somebody's hacked the screen.
I've done one that's too serious, and now I don't know what to say.
But it's like, I think these people are actors. Not the people who do blackface. That's not good.
No,
No,
those
no.
are called horrible people.
Yes.
But it's also like, it's that case that like, if you were an actor, you would never be allowed to play an experience different from your own. You know what I mean? Because that's the worry. It gets to a point where it's like, you are, you're a straight white guy. You're only ever going to be allowed to play straight. Now, of course, I think this is coming from a place where like they're saying, a lot of the LGBT community, a lot of disabled people, they don't get these acting roles.
Sure.
So I think people are frustrated that they're not getting. But and hopefully we will see more opportunities. But at the same time, Bryan Cranston is a massive movie star.
Yeah.
And a very good actor.
And he's going to have a lot of draw.
Yeah.
And it's like, and people are going to go and see this because it's like a Bryan Cranston movie. And then they might be like, oh, and I've learnt a little bit about
But
sensitivity.
why can't you just enjoy the performance of the actor?
Yeah.
It's not about him playing a disabled man necessarily. It's about him acting a certain role in a certain way, and why can't that be appreciated for what it is?
I think you're right, and I think there's also a dangerous conflation of people thinking, oh, Bryan Cranston is playing the role of a disabled person, which means he thinks X, Y, and Z. No.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about what Bryan Cranston thinks or doesn't think about disabled people or how actors should play disabled roles in movies. He's just an actor doing a role. He's just telling a story and playing a part. That's as simple as it gets. And there's no point in trying to attribute like hate or support to Bryan Cranston for what he's done on this. He just acted like he did in
I
any
saw
other
the
role.
article and I was just thinking, why is this a thing? Why is he having to explain himself?
But also, like,
I just think it goes too far, and
no,
I'll liken it to football now because
Sorry, I brought up video games.
that's for there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I'll have to get my own back here.
Pandora's box.
Just a crack.
Every season, it feels like in football, people become less and less tolerant of tackling. So if someone, but say in 1998, a tackle then, which everyone would say, oh, great challenge, play on, would now be a red card. And it just feels like every year or every period of time, it gradually gets a little bit worse.
And in those days, people used to sew razor blades into their socks.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
It's the
you
best
got
way.
it. How else are you supposed to defend yourself?
Well, exactly, yeah.
Against the guy with a chainsaw in his leg.
Yeah, there's that defender with a scythe on pitch
Yeah.
all the time. It's like, that's crazy.
Well,
Of course,
that was a good game, actually.
Yeah.
Of course, in its original capacity, football included not one but two men carrying scythes.
I don't even remember a ball in that match.
Nah, you didn't need one.
That wasn't important.
You didn't need one.
So sorry, you're saying
Nobody had any
so you're
legs.
not allowed to kick, you're not allowed to kick people anymore, is what you're saying?
I'm sort of likening it to football in that it gets worse and worse every year to the extent that it's also almost becoming a non-contact sport, and nobody can do anything anywhere near risky. You know what I mean? And in life, generally, or people complaining about these things, I feel like everyone's very middle of the road, and no one's allowed. We're getting to a point that no one's actually allowed to express an opinion because they're just going to get absolutely torn down.
That's a scary. I think people are afraid to. I agree.
People are afraid to express an opinion. Don't be an arsehole, I'll repeat. Don't be vindictive. Don't be a prick. But have an opinion.
I think we can all agree, and this has probably been if you take only one message home from a show called Hate, it's that social media makes things so much worse.
Yeah.
So much worse. And it's that thing where, like, you know, it's fact there's no time to process between seeing a story, digesting it, thinking about it, maybe even going to see the movie, making your decisions about it then, and sharing your opinion. It's like that's instantaneous. So things get hothoused. Or like, so in the span of like 12 hours, a thing could be entirely workshopped on social media, and suddenly everyone is whipped into an absolute frenzy.
That's it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's certain instances, and this isn't necessarily one of them, Bryan Cranston, but where people are just so caught up in this whole flurry of coverage about it, or people having strong views on it, that they think, I have that view, I need to be heard about this, and
then it snowballs.
And it snowballs, and it gets too much.
I've tried really hard in the last, because I've stepped back a bit from Twitter, because I find generally every time I open it, it makes me feel a little more miserable.
Sure.
And I still go back to it because it's addictive, and I enjoy enough good aspects of it to kind of tolerate the bad. But I've tried to retweet stuff less, if that makes sense.
Okay, because you're essentially adding to a pile.
Because I used to like even stuff I really agreed with. I'd like a political or like a cause or maybe something to get angry about. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm so righteously enraged about this, I'm going to share it, and I'd feel good for sharing it. I feel like I'd kind of boosted the cause. And then after a while I realised, am I actually really helping? Like, I'm not adding anything to the story. I'm not.
No. And are you helping if you were to, instead of retweeting, just throwing your frothy opinion out about it either? Is that really helping either? I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it? Because maybe as like a culture, we've gone from like the glory days of like 2010, where
the glory days of 2010.
This is amazing. I can share my opinions online, like instantly with Twitter.
It came back to burn us so fast.
Yeah, it's like suddenly we were sharing everything, and now suddenly we're like the old thing. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. You don't want to look at yours.
We flew way too close to the sun.
Yeah, but it's like this other thing at the moment where we've had a lot of like celebrity firings or people losing gigs because of things they said in the past. I was
James Gunn.
James Gunn is a prime one.
But also I believe now this is an interesting one actually, because like Kevin Hart,
the
who
Oscars,
actually oddly enough co-stars in that movie with Bryan Cranston.
Oh yes.
Now he lost the Oscars gig because a lot of like homophobic content he'd made in the past surfaced.
Right.
And James Gunn lost his job on the Guardians movies because a lot of like
it was political, wasn't it?
He was making shit.
It was stuff he'd said before that he'd already apologised for years, and it's probably about at least 10 years ago.
Yeah, I knew it was a long time.
And it's just people must have known about these things. It's just a bit of a witch hunt in that case, because people knew about these things anyway. He's been making these movies for 5 years at least.
But I think also like intent is a big thing.
Yes.
Because and I think this is where
the spirit of the thing.
And this is where it's like I'm maybe okay with Kevin Hart stepping down from presenting the Oscars, say, but I feel it's unfair that James Gunn lost his job. The reason for that is I found like a lot of like the stuff Kevin Hart said, I found it a little offensive.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm not homosexual, and I was like, wow, like that's a bit.
Yeah,
that seems cool.
But that's where the line blurs. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
and it's where you were saying like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
I think cruelty is a big part of it.
Yeah.
That's it. You can tell what's intended to be a bit of fun,
Yeah.
and what's intended to be hurtful.
Or what's the result of a heated argument.
Yeah.
Which to the James Gunn thing sounds like it might have just got a bit out of control, and he said things he regrets and he apologised for them. Whereas the stuff that Kevin Hart said may have more of a deep-seated truth to him.
And also, I think like it's like they say like I'm not a parent, I don't know, but they say like if you're raising a child, it's like you should never say to the child like, "Oh, you're stupid," or like "You're silly." You should say like, "You did a stupid thing,"
Right.
Or you did like a silly thing, like
To make it clear.
Because it kind of like it kind of suggests that these people can't change.
Yes. They're fundamentally a certain way.
I'm not trying to get too deep here. I'm just saying, like, if somebody does something stupid, even if somebody did something stupid or cruel in the past, you've got to hope they have the potential to change.
Yes.
So I feel you do certainly owe people like the benefit of the doubt. I think.
Well, kids, yeah.
Kids, maybe adults know. I'm trying to support you here. I'm trying to
Thank you.
to some extent. I'm trying to say
Thank you.
like even if
No, if we're being literal about it, I have a lot of tolerance for kids because obviously kids are growing, kids are learning, and that's the only way they're going to learn, by being told they're right or wrong. That is learning by its definition. Whereas, say Kevin Hart, for example, if he said things to be hurtful or vindictive, then it's a fair cop.
Yeah.
Whereas when he's an adult,
Yeah.
that's the difference. That's what I'm getting at. But people seem to want to get offended where there's no cause to.
Yeah. But
For their own agendas
and
sometimes.
certainly with like Kevin Hart, it's like, yeah, I think he said some pretty cruel and offensive stuff, and I'm like, I don't really, I don't really care for your stuff, and I don't, our lives aren't going to overlap anyway. But it's like, yeah, I don't have an issue with him losing the Oscars gig. Now, maybe it's wise for him to go away and think a bit about the things he said and the consequences of it. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to see him kind of blacklisted forever. Like if he came back at some point in the future and made some genuine show of, look, I've thought a lot about what I said. It was offensive. I understand that. I'm going to try and be a better person. It's like I would maybe be willing to offer him another chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I think it's only the idea that your past could come back and haunt you. Like if you're an asshole in the past and you're really remorseful now.
But it happens a lot, especially people digging out old tweets at the moment. That's happening a lot.
Oh, entirely, yeah. And it's certainly when, Twitter isn't always the best reflection of reality. I mean, and it'd be horrible to think like the stupid things I've done in the past. If there was like a record of every stupid thing. I do stupid things every week.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I'm not filming it constantly. I don't want that getting out.
I'm filming it constantly. It's going to be great.
Anyway, you get my point.
Yeah, we get your point.
That's it. I'm done.
Wow.
Oh, sorry.
That was a heavy one.
Oh, sorry about sorry if I offended anyone. Oh.
You should prepare your Twitter apology now.
I'll write it now,
when this
and I'll
episode-
schedule it for when this episode goes out.
You've done some shit
Oh,
in your past.
you wouldn't be friends with me if you knew what I'd done.
That's good to know.
If you knew where the bodies were buried.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was...
No, I'm a very wholesome individual.
Oh, no, you are.
Everybody.
No, of course.
Thank you.
He's a nice guy. This guy.
This guy. Love him.
So, I mean, that was pretty deep.
That was quite heavy.
Thank you.
That was really not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
All right. I also don't like it. You know the sound your anorak makes
Oh.
when it rubs against another bit of your anorak. I hate it. It's like nails on a chalkboard. To
I've
me.
got a much lighter hate.
Oh, go on then.
I think it's probably best if
What, lighter than the anorak one?
Yeah, actually.
all right then.
Practically like imbecilic, my hate.
Okay.
Like classic Nich and
It's a
Chris.
palate cleanser.
That's the plan. Like maybe we just we bounce on this and we move from your deep shit to my like cock and mimi shit,
light
and then we
shit.
move on to something proper with John.
Don't look
yeah,
at me.
no pressure.
You're right.
My hate is that. Do you hate it when you get like a cartoon character and he's super famous? Let's say Taz, for example.
I like Taz.
Yeah, good old Taz. Remember Taz?
He's irreverent humour.
And very relevant.
Ooh,
if you think the 90s is anything to go on. And then you meet his extended family and they all wear clothes. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a bit like observational comedy, this, isn't it?
This
What's
is
up
good.
with
Whoa,
that?
whoa.
You remember Taz? He's naked.
It's
all
like
the
Donald
time.
Duck doesn't wear trousers.
Yeah.
But when he gets out of the bath,
he wears
puts
a
towel
bathrobe
around him.
Can I say,
What's that all about?
Am I right?
Oh,
I've gained great joy in life from knowing that Donald ducking it is a
It's
phrase.
a phrase. Yeah.
I'm Donald Ducking it.
That's Winnie the Poohing it as well. That's quite good. Yeah, the idea, like, it's kind of weird anyway, like animal cartoon characters and they're sort of throwing clothing rules
But what
to the
if-
wind.
What if Bugs Bunny is wearing a onesie?
Ah, that means he's a furry.
Then
Yeah.
Are you
Is he
suggesting-
wearing a diaper?
But are you
Oh, is he a
suggesting
crinkler?
that when Bugs Bunny takes
just
the
skin.
onesie off, the head as well?
Yeah, he's got ears, but they're just
No,
fleshy
his
ears.
head's like as it is from like the neck up.
Oh.
But then if he took his onesie off,
I was going to
he'd
say
be like skin coloured.
I was going to say that's better in an ironic way, but that is much better. Actually, I'd hate to think of a naked Bugs Bunny head.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would traumatise you.
I bet if you
So,
Google
I bet
that,
it's
I
out
bet
there.
you'll find
I bet
that.
it's out
Yeah.
there.
Like a testicle.
Yeah.
But it's like it's. I'm just going back to the extended family thing because it's like it's always that's how it goes, isn't it? Like Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong classically just wears a tie. He's naked except for a tie. We don't bat an eyelid. Then Diddy Kong comes along. He's wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. And then
big dress
Trixie
sense.
Kong, or whatever she's called, is in like a full outfit with shoes. And then Cranky Kong's there with his walking stick and his old man outfit.
What about Funky Kong?
Funky Kong? He's got sunglasses on. He's a cool dude.
If I can backtrack for a moment,
I don't see why, but okay.
I didn't know Taz had a family.
Yes, you do.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you do. He had a cartoon.
And I'm pretty sure they could all talk as well. And Taz couldn't talk.
Yeah.
Taz could just go.
Yeah, in the context of the show, Taz essentially just had a speech impediment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can understand.
I remember the show.
Yeah.
I do not remember Taz having a
You
family.
must remember.
I'm pretty sure Dad wore
His
Hawaiian
dad.
shirts. Did he wear a
Yeah.
Hawaiian?
Oh,
Yeah, and
that
he
rings
loved,
a
he
bell.
loved OJ, a nice glass of OJ.
Yeah.
And he had a little saying. What was that?
Oh God,
I
I
don't know.
What Taz's dad?
I can only just
Yeah. What
imagine
was
a
it?
Taz in a Hawaiian shirt.
You know, blah blah blah, yaggity smaggity.
That's very specific.
No, that's what he said. All his stories were like he'd always tell a story, and it always just went like
Blah,
something,
blah,
something,
blah.
blah blah blah, yaggity smaggity.
It's a pretty. That was the time of catchphrases, wasn't it? Like
That's
cowabunga,
That's
dude.
coming back to me now. You're talking about it.
Yeah, if I keep saying it.
If you keep saying it, they might eventually.
Tonight
come
when
back
you're
to
in
me.
bed staring at the ceiling, you can't
I'll
sleep.
wake up during the middle of the night. Of course.
Of course, Taz's family.
Because he had a teenage, he had a sister as well, didn't he?
Probably, I don't remember.
It was
She
like
probably had a
this-
bow in her hair, didn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, it was Taz with a bow.
So it
Yeah.
was something
Yeah,
like
and eyelashes.
Mom, Dad, Taz, and sister. Was there a dog or something?
That would be.
Would that be? Was that,
That,
an actual dog?
that would be rage-inducing,
Or a
John. If
Taz.
there was if they had a dog,
What are we talking like?
or did they have an anatomically correct Tasmanian devil as their pet?
Is this a related hate, or is this a second topic? That could be a whole episode when a cartoon animal
has a pet
dog.
animal? Yes.
Yeah.
That could be a whole nother hate. To be fair,
Krisha, you've gone very silent.
it's gone pale.
No, I'm just thinking.
A drink.
You can see the cogs turning while we're talking about this. But Pluto and Goofy are dogs,
and they look the
Wow.
same.
but they're sentient.
Well, a dog
well,
is sentient, you can say.
Well,
Well, all right, they are intelligent. Let's say.
the thing is,
Anthropomorphized.
Goofy
Yeah,
is an
that's it.
idiot, and yet that twisted society affords him a job, a son, and the ability to drive cars.
But does Goofy have a dog?
well,
Pet dog?
no, but he lives next door to
'Cause
Mickey,
Pluto
and
can't
he sees
talk.
it every day. No,
Who
but
does
here's the thing.
Pluto belong to?
Mickey.
Mickey, right.
But what's my thing?
King Mickey.
Are they?
There's no consistency here.
Is this a flip side? Is Pluto a genius trapped in a silent body? He cannot speak and he has no opposable
Oh
thumb.
God, it's like Get Out.
And is Goofy an idiot who is somehow
But he
afforded
looks-
the
Did they
ability?
swap their minds? Did
But he looks
Pluto's mind
happy.
go into Goofy's body and vice versa?
He looks happy though, Pluto.
Well, you've got
doesn't
to
he?
keep a pretense up.
You've got to.
But
Otherwise, you won't
But-
get your doggy
But
biscuit.
geniuses are often like taunted individuals.
Oh, he's haunted. Think of the.
But he's always going around going, "Oh, this is great. I'm having a whale of a time."
And he's every day. He's like
Living
he's
hell.
like, day 143. The madness continues.
Trapped
There's
in
no
there.
hope for me.
Oh no, he's back.
He's back. I'm a baker. This week, I don't know.
I don't know, something.
And then Pluto goes, "Oh yeah, great." But inside he's dying.
He's dying, yeah. He's looking for the portal back to the real
And
world.
Goofy wears clothes.
Full clothes, like
Full
trousers.
clothes. He's got
top.
one of them.
And here's the thing,
Straps.
right? I'm sorry to bring it
Dungarees.
back. I'm sorry to bring it back to video games again, but there's a video game called Kingdom Hearts,
Here we go.
which is about Disney characters, right?
Oh.
Every episode of this guy.
Yeah.
And he's doing it deliberately to upset me.
Great, we're back. We're having
Every
banter.
episode, we haven't done one for a
This is,
year.
this is everything I wanted from our comeback episode. You have your two like companion characters are Donald Duck and Goofy. Goofy wears a full outfit. Donald Duck, like, and they wear different outfits because they're like battlers in this. They're like
Yeah.
fantasy adventurers. So Goofy's in like a full suit of armor. He's got a sword and a shield, all this shit. Donald Duck just has a top on. He's going into battle with a top on. It's just an outrage.
But why does Goofy wear clothes and Pluto doesn't?
One of them's a man
Because
who is a dog, and one of them is a dog who may be a man.
is the relationship between
Or a dog.
Or a dog.
Or a dog.
He could just be a dog.
is it like in this world the evolutionary tree like us and chimpanzees did in that world it split and you had like
So there were dog men.
the
You're
dog
saying
men.
Goofy is like a human
Like an ape.
dog,
He's like an
Yes.
orangutan.
and Pluto is a monkey dog.
Yes.
Okay.
It'd be like having
I buy it.
It'd be like having a friend, except in this context, your friend would have to be a different species to you. That's the thing.
They're different colours.
I feel no, because I meant like it'd be like having a friend who owned a monkey,
Someone might accuse us of overthinking about this.
but
No, I don't
your
think so.
friend would have to be a mouse. So your friend would have to be a completely different species to you.
He's a really big mouse as well.
yeah,
Really big mouse.
and his ears are always perpendicular
Yeah.
to the
And round.
viewer, so his head rotates. And
Yes.
his ears do
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
And he can look from left to right, and his ears stay in the same place.
I feel we're getting slightly away from the core issue at hand, gentlemen, which is
The
the
family
family wearing
clothes, where the main character doesn't
the main
wear
character's
clothes.
naked.
Yeah.
Can we get to the bottom of this, please?
The Jetsons have a dog as well.
And the Jetsons are one of
Back
George
here.
Jetson is naked in every episode.
Yeah. Just imagine.
And he's a dog.
This was my
Yeah.
extended point. I was going to say, just imagine if that happened and you had like a human family, but the main character was a human and he was just naked all the time, and then the rest of the family wore clothes, and you'd be like, "What is going
The
on?"
thing is, though,
That'd be very
the thing
inappropriate.
is, we are jumping universes here because we're talking about the
All
Hanna
right.
Barbera expanded universe
sure.
versus Disney. And in Hanna Barbera, everyone's naked, but they also have a collar and a tie on.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear.
He has just a collar and a
Hey,
tie. on.
boo-boo.
Hey, boo boo. What does Scrappy Doo wear anything? Does he have a little collar?
No.
and tie?
No.
Right,
yes.
Scrappy Doo.
Okay,
Why is
No, wait.
Scooby
I think
Doo?
Scrappy Doo does wear something.
I think Scrappy Doo is the
He might wear a
example-
tie.
he's
Hold
the
on, I'm
example
just
of
looking
who's-
it up.
Talk
Break-
about-
right,
Why
okay.
can Scooby Doo talk sort of broken English,
Yes.
and Scrappy Doo's very good at English?
Yeah.
Well,
He speaks perfectly.
It's like the age-old, does anyone hear what Stewie's saying in Family Guy?
I'm beginning to think my hate may have been too serious.
I think we can maybe go back and edit it out.
What makes you think that?
Yeah.
Scrappy Doo has a collar on,
He has a collar on. Collar, there we go.
with a little diamond-shaped pendant on it.
Yeah.
Does Scooby Doo not wear a collar?
He
Sorry, yes.
does.
I was thinking about Yogi Bear. No, what's Yogi Bear's little friend?
Boo-boo.
Boo-boo.
Boo Boo, of course.
Hey, boo boo.
Hey, boo-boo.
Let me just look up
Take a look at this picnic basket.
Yogi and Boo Boo.
I was...
Yogi and Boo Boo, here
so
we go.
I was walking home.
Yeah, Boo Boo's got a bow tie on.
He's got a bow tie on. But Yogi's
What
got
does
a tie.
Yogi wears a
He's got-
hat?
Yeah, he's got
Yogi
a
wears a
hat.
hat and a tie and a collar, but then nothing
But
else.
Boo-boo
connected.
doesn't have a hat.
So
does he?
Boo Boo's less dressed. Than
Boo Boo
you.
only has a bow tie on.
Oh my god.
Hey, boo boo.
Scooby?
Turning the theory on its head here.
Scooby Doo, I don't think wears anything.
So, Nick, did this all begin
No, he has a collar. He has
He
the
has a
same
collar.
collar as
He has a
Scrappy
collar as
Doo.
Scrappy Doo.
He's got the
They've
same
got the
collar.
same initials.
Do you think the collar is what gives them their powers? Sorry, go
But
on.
Scooby Doo can't speak proper English.
Yeah, well, it doesn't work so well on
Because
him.
he's fake.
He's
Roar,
so...
roar.
He
Yeah, because he hangs out with Shaggy.
No, Scooby Doo, right?
He's
speaks-
cheating on that sweet kind
Scoo-
every minute of every day.
Scooby Doo speaks like Shaggy taught him to speak English, whereas Scrappy Doo speaks like a normal bloke.
So in this universe, you've raised the question and explained it, because in this universe, dogs speak like their owners. So clearly, Scrappy Doo was raised by a more eloquent person and not some beatnik stoner. Who
Yeah,
lives in a
but
van
Scrappy
with
Doo's a
4 other
puppy.
vagrants.
Scrappy Doo's a puppy as well.
Yes.
So how was it taking him less amount of time to learn real good English, like what I'm speaking?
Like what?
Scooby never had the same chance, the same
Whereas
education.
Scooby-
had a rough upbringing.
Yeah, Scrappy went to private school, I think.
But he's young.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There are some kids out there on the
Yeah.
street now who know more than I do. Who can speak better what English than I can. What?
So Nick, did the
Well, anyway, what are we talking
did the
about?
Tasmanian Devil family start all this for you? Is that like Patient Zero?
Yeah, that was the one that made me think of this, and I looked it up, and it enraged me. And then I tried to find others, and the only other one I could find to support my theory was the Donkey Kong family. And that was enough for me to go, yeah, this is a problem.
That'll
and then I
do.
just shut Google down and walked straight here to start ranting about it.
Is it because...
You've opened a can of worms with this.
I know, right? It's
Is
good,
it because they got it right the first time round?
Yes.
And, right, okay.
It's exactly what I was
That's
going to
easy,
say.
right.
So they never designed the character with the idea of the family to be introduced or to exist. And then when they were faced with having to design a whole load of other characters that had to look like the main character, but now be visually distinguishable, they were like, ruh-roh, to quote Scooby,
Yeah,
we've got nothing to work with.
Scrappy
give
says
them-
"uh-oh" because that's the way it's said.
Let's give
This is
them a-
really pissing me off now that I think about it.
Can you imagine the...
I know, right?
Oh.
Can you imagine the existential horror of you are an extra in the town that Taz lives in, right?
You're like the butcher.
Yeah, but yes, the butcher, right? So
But
my
are they
point
all
is-
Tasmanian
Let's
devils?
assume they are.
Let's say
I
yes
can't,
for now.
I can't
Fine,
remember enough
fine.
about the
They're on
rich
Taz
lore.
Island.
Okay, yeah,
all right.
Tasmania.
I'll buy
Who
it.
Let's
knows?
say Tasmania. I think it is Tasmania.
Yeah. So,
Down in Tasmania.
Oh, that is
yeah,
that's
there
the
you go.
thing.
Yeah,
There
it's all
you
going
go.
back now. So, okay, so assume
Bucky O'Hare wears
you're
clothes.
not even. We'll get to him in a
And
second.
all of his
yeah.
crew.
Yeah.
You're not
Deadeye,
even.
Duck.
Okay, so Taz, bear with
Sorry,
me.
I'm talking
Sorry.
Focus.
John, I'm trying to talk about
Focus.
Bucky O'Hare over here.
Focus on the naked Taz. Okay.
Oh.
Taz, he's patient zero.
Yeah.
He is the default platonic Tasmanian devil upon which all other Tasmanian devils will be based.
Sure.
So, Tasmanian Devil 2, the second one made by God, Tasmanian God,
Yeah.
is Dad.
What does Tasmanian God look like? Is he a Tasmanian devil? Why was he
Oh,
not Tasmanian Zero?
maybe God is Tasmanian Zero.
He's just the essence of what makes a
And
Taz.
Taz is Jesus. It's like he's both God, the Son,
The Holy
reborn.
Trinity of Taz.
Yeah.
Of
In
course.
his image.
In
Yeah.
his image.
Makes-
yeah, exactly.
That makes perfect sense, John. Keep going.
And God made Taz in his image.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taz God.
Yes, Taz God.
Taz
Yeah.
God. Right.
So that's
Fine.
easy. What's wrong with you? Okay, so then every.
This went so much better than I ever thought it would.
So then, okay, so you're Tasmanian the second.
Yes,
Okay.
hello.
Your dad Taz, and it's like the same basic model. We'll give him. Hold that thought.
Shut it.
Same
No,
basic.
I was going to try and compare him to Jesus.
Okay, well,
I was Joseph then.
Joseph. Okay.
Well, Joseph wasn't the second human ever created.
No,
but okay,
it
yeah.
was Taz in Immaculate Conception.
Let's. We'll
He was a star
Put a
child.
pin in that. We'll come
Put
back
a
to
pin
it.
in that. Fine.
Okay, so
I still want to talk about Bucky O'Hare.
Pin that as well.
okay, so second Taz basically looks like Taz. Let's put a Hawaiian shirt on him. Give him a nice, cool, refreshing glass of OJ.
Yeah.
That's a new character.
Done.
Fast forward, you're populating this barren, clay-like world with beings which you are bringing out of clay. And it's like Taz number 340 is Butcher Taz. It's like,
Carries around a cleaver. Just carries a cleaver.
He's got an apron on covered in blood.
can you imagine the existential horror of like just being that character? And you're like, this is me.
I am defined from birth.
Put down a cleaver. Who is he?
Yeah, because if Butcher Taz takes his apron off and puts his cleaver down, he could be main Taz. He could be famous Super Taz the first.
Which is why, if you're the editor or director on that series, you can never have the episode where they go to the beach because when everyone takes off their signature,
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Oh, it's just a load of identical creatures.
It's like Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Well,
you can only identify them by the colours.
Colours.
They wear.
Yeah, exactly. If
Colour
they
of
took
their
their tops off,
clothes.
which happens in my fan fiction.
Oh
in
yeah.
fact, there's an episode of here we go. There's an episode of DuckTales in which one of them,
I bet they
let's
go to the beach and
say
they put shorts on.
Louis,
Okay, let's say Louis.
gets annoyed that everyone.
I like that you had to think about that.
Well, let's pick. Oh, now it's Dewey.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Ah,
We're the
you
same.
ruined it. I liked it when it was
I
Louis.
like Huey.
Let's
so,
pick. Let's pick. He goes, "Oh, I'm annoyed. Everyone thinks I look like my brothers
He does.
because we're triplets."
Yeah,
So he makes a pointed effort to dress differently.
sure.
but you still look like
Well,
them.
yeah, that's
But
kind of the punchline.
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
you,
yeah.
you make a good point there because in cartoon logic, that's how you make yourself look different. By
Yeah.
putting on a butcher's apron and carrying a cleaver.
yeah.
Now I'm Butcher Duck.
He put.
Which, incidentally, is a concept we just created. Butcher Duck.
Butcher Louis.
But it's just like a really realistic view of what it's like to be a butcher day in, day out, starting 9 till 5, cutting meat all day long. It just teaches you how
But
to
if
do it.
you
But
go
he's
home
a
and you
duck.
stay in your butcher clothes,
You have to.
You sleep in
Your
them.
wife
it's
wouldn't
like
know
hello
you.
dear.
Because she's just wife Butcher Duck, so she's... that's all that she's
But
defined
what
by.
does she wear?
She wears an apron too, but she has a bow in her.
You get home. She can get home and goes, And he's just, I had all this existential doubt all day, and he's just like,
What am I?
the grind, and all he does every day is sell meat to other ducks with better clothes. And he comes home and there's sad music playing. He walks in through the house and goes, "Oh dear, I've got to say, I had such a horrible day, but coming home to you makes it all worthwhile." He takes off his apron. She goes, "Who are you?" Get out of my
There's a
house.
stranger in the house.
You want to talk about Bucky O'Hare?
I did.
Yeah. Now.
I don't know why.
Go.
No. Well, Bucky O'Hare, right?
Yeah.
Wears like a proper spacesuit and everything.
Well, he
He's
has,
in- he's in
he has like a
space.
soldier outfit, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He has like
yeah.
a red jacket with yellow epaulets.
Good-looking guy.
Because he's a captain.
Yeah.
Is he not?
Captain Bucky O'Hare.
Captain Bucky.
He
O'Hare.
goes where no
Bucky,
ordinary
Captain
rabbit would
Bucky
dare.
O'Hare.
Because he's not a rabbit, is he? He's a hare. Anyway, go on.
Oh yeah, he's a hare.
Yeah.
He's green.
He's a hare.
But he's green.
Yeah.
I've never
So
seen a
where's
hare that's
that?
green.
Where's that? Where's that?
He also flies a spaceship in a animated work of fiction.
Well, this is all animated. What
That
we're talking
said, though,
about.
John, there was deliberate measures taken in the story of Bucky O'Hare to make it clear that Willie DeWitt, who is the human character, leaves our universe and enters the Aniverse, which is a universe populated by sentient
Well,
animals.
there you see. That's fine.
Somebody
then.
remembers
That's
a hell of a
actually.
lot from Bucky
I didn't
O'Hare.
remember. That makes more sense in that regard.
Yeah, it does. But it's
Biker mice from Mars.
Oh.
Well, you could ask yourself, how did mice, in a rare example of convergent evolution, also develop on Mars, and why are they so buff?
And they had antenna.
Why are they so goddamn
They did have
hench?
The
that,
antenna.
didn't they?
Oh yeah, because they were alien mice.
Oh,
But then why were they
you got to
mice? then?
distinguish, otherwise.
Why aren't they
No.
just aliens?
Okay, 2 questions in this little pop quiz that's popping up.
We're having great fun.
Name the turtles.
Leonardo, Donatello,
Michelangelo,
Raphael.
Raphael.
Name a biker mice from Mars.
Oh, Derek, Magnus, and Horsch.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Horsch was my favourite. It was spelled with so many more vowels than you'd ever expect it to be.
Jerry, Mickey,
Oh yeah.
and
No, pull up.
Disney's calling. Our show's been cancelled.
yeah,
It would be something like
Leroy.
Skids
Oh yeah.
with a Z.
with a Z.
Yeah, or
And
like
silent X at the start.
And the I
Asphalt.
is a 1.
Yeah.
They would be cool.
I'm
something
pretty
like
sure
that,
I've got an
wouldn't
action
they?
figure of one of the biker mice.
really like still
Yeah, I've got like an old bag full of
an old bag.
old shit, and I think there's one in there.
There's a
and
chance
Dead-Eye Duck
that could
from
be
Bucky
worth
O'Hare.
like fuck all. I've got
Yeah.
Blinky from from Bucky O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare.
Who was
So-
Blinky?
He was the robot that had a big eye on a stalk.
There was a robot.
There was a robot in the crew, and he was like a classic robot body with telescopic arms and legs and a square body, and then he had a neck, and there was just an eyeball on top of it.
In the context of Bucky O'Hare,
And the animal universe.
in the animal universe.
the fuck? is Blinky?
What animal did
Yeah.
it belong to?
What eye did that come from?
Hello.
Was it Deadeye's eye that was put onto Blinky? I'd say probably not, no.
It's a fan theory then.
Yeah, I like it.
Because he could have. That would have been a mindfuck, wouldn't it? If they'd made like, oh, he's a robot, but he's a robot.
But if his eye's the size of like a hare's head,
I'd have watched that.
if his eye is the size of a hare's head, let's
It
say,
is.
it's
Yeah.
probably like a whale
It's
or
a
an
whale
elephant,
eye,
isn't it?
yeah.
Maybe-
Of course, the whale.
I'm going to get the whole fucking show on box set, I think, and watch through, because maybe there's a rich mythology there that has yet to be discovered
Yeah.
by anyone, because no one cares.
Well, once this live-action Sonic film comes out, this is all going to make a lot more sense.
Why wasn't that my hate? Oh my god!
I'm amazed that hasn't come up sooner. Yeah, can we talk about Sonic's hench
I think we should
thighs?
take a moment
Yeah.
to talk about that fucking poster. Because that's all
Well,
we've seen at this point.
I've seen a subsequent poster.
Really?
And I'll try and find
As
it.
have I, yeah.
Is it where you can see it?
Yes,
Is
you
it in the
see
back
it
of a car?
properly, and he actually-
I have seen this, but only in a flash on a video, and I haven't seen it for proper.
I'll get it. Try and
No.
get it in front of me. He
It's-
actually looks not completely terrible, I think. in
Just for
that.
context,
Okay.
I think we should regularly check in with the Sonic movie on this show. Like,
Oh, we're definitely going to go watch it, surely.
oh, we've got to go watch it and then do a whole show dedicated to why it was so bad. But because it will be bad, there's no question at all. I don't think.
We've got to go watch
But
it.
for anyone who's listening who doesn't know, there's a live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie being made.
Sonic's back.
And holy God, you just need to go look at the poster because I just don't know. I just don't know.
Talk about like decisions that backfired. Like they were clearly proud enough of that poster, that teaser image, because it's like Sonic in silhouette, isn't it? For the listener at home, Chris Ray has just passed a picture of Sonic. to,
Okay,
That looks better than the official poster.
Yes, it
but
does.
still looks shit.
Yes.
Yes, I completely agree with you. Yeah.
That's where we are, I think.
I think my real sticking point is, A, it's a bad decision to make a live-action Sonic movie.
100%.
B, I'm already okay with the kind of existential, logical hurdle of knowing that a blue hedgehog is super fast and can talk.
Yeah.
It's like movie. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't.
You
like,
don't need to convince me that that's rational or normal in any way.
Is that what they're going to try and do?
No, but no, because they looked at Sonic, a cartoon character, a blue hedgehog who's super fast,
Who we all have no trouble believing in.
who lives in, let's say, the Aniverse.
Yeah.
You know, on
That'd be
Mobius,
good, wouldn't it?
You know, on Mobius.
Yeah.
Crossover with Bucket.
Floating island.
And they're like, no, this concept is too outlandish to appear in the real world. We have to make him
We have to change it.
look real.
Yeah.
So now.
So now he's hairy.
So this is the thing which has torn internet communities apart. You know, there was a massive Sonic the Hedgehog fan site, like a forum,
I'm sure there was. Yeah.
and thousands of people on it. And the moderators had to shut the site down because the debate over whether Sonic had one eye or two.
This was before the movie.
Yeah, just in general, Sonic. Just.
This sort of, I'm going to bring it back to my very serious point now. This doesn't matter.
Some people out there, Chris, are
It
offended.
matters to some people.
It really does. It's
They want to get a life. They do.
Maybe they do.
There before the grace of God go I.
And then they'll all be apologising. Oh,
Hey, Chris, you should play a good game.
Oh,
John and I have
sorry.
played this game where
Go
you go
on.
on Google, you type in Chris the Hedgehog, and just see what's out there for you.
Oh, it's probably a version of Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
In a different colour.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to do it now.
Do it right
You
now.
might have a superpower.
Yeah, you might be lucky. Like, John could turn,
Well,
loneliness into
bastards-
fire or something.
Those bastards at Sega stole my character name.
Sorry, bulliness is a bad word. You could turn bullying and loneliness into anti-grav.
That was
or
it.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
He had some really sweet ass. You got Chris the Hedgehog?
I've got it.
Yes.
It is various recolours of Sonic.
Is his dick out? It's usually out.
Not that I've seen. So, oh god.
Nick the Hedgehog was pretty satisfying. Oh, I am the Lord of the Rings.
We could maybe fill a whole episode talking about this, Sonic on the internet.
Maybe we should start doing feature episodes.
But let's talk about Sonic. I mean, yes, we should.
Should we do an episode that's a review of the Sonic movie?
I definitely
yeah,
think
God,
so.
yeah.
The whole episode.
If we could do an episode where we went to Toys R Us and bought garbage and talked about that, I think we could do one where we go to see
So we
Sonic
have,
the movie.
and of course we have to, and the format of the episode would be 90% we can only talk about things we hate,
Yeah.
and at the end we have to talk
We have to,
about
yes,
things we
we
liked
have
about the
to
Sonic
each
movie.
find one thing we loved about the movie.
We are assuming, of course,
Excellent.
that we don't love the movie. The movie could be absolutely amazing.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
It seems unlikely.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, yeah, we'll give it a chance. We'll go in with an open mind.
I won't.
But Sonic's not wearing clothes.
No,
No,
he's
he wears
not.
shoes.
That's problematic.
But don't his
Massively.
shoes help him run fast?
Well, in which continuity?
What do his feet look
Fuck
like?
me, there's more than one continuity.
Can we all agree that naked with shoes on is so much worse
Than just naked?
The thing is, he's conscious enough to put the shoes on. If I went running with just shoes on, out there, again, I'd be arrested and they'd be right to do it.
Yeah. Well, if you painted yourself blue, you might not be. No, you would be.
Oh, no, yeah, that somehow would be worse.
But to keep it factual now, you'd have to like also roll in like a load of like hay or fur or something.
God,
just to
yeah,
get that
just to
kind
get
of-
some sort of sticky outy hairiness.
I need to let some scientists do some experiments on me as well, and then I'd be really fast.
Yeah.
But in which continuity?
Oh,
I love that.
I was going to say that a lot. Though. Actually, it's a perfect way to shut down any argument.
yeah.
Which
It's just his horrible muscular thighs.
It's just so unnecessarily anatomically sound. He's not meant to be a person. He's not meant to be a man.
It's too accurate.
It's meant to be a hedgehog. And I know the original doesn't look anything like a fucking hedgehog. But so therefore the rules are already completely out the window. Why did you climb out the window and look in the rules pile and pull some rules back in? Why did you do that?
And he can talk.
Yeah.
Why does he need to
and he's-
interact with humans?
Why does he need to be in our world? Why wasn't it a Pixar movie?
Yeah, it could
Why
have
wasn't
been
it
a good,
all
nice
just-
3D movie and Knuckles could have been in it.
Why
'cause
did
I
it look like
Knuckles.
he appears in Wreck-It Ralph and Wreck-It Ralph 2? He appears in those movies. He looks like he does in the games.
Yeah.
He looks fine. He could have looked like that in the movies.
That would
Why?
have been good.
Now, Jim Carrey is playing Dr. Robotnik.
Oh my
Jesus,
god!
really?
Is he going to be a CGI human with Jim Carrey's voice, or are they going to take Jim Carrey and just fatten him up and have him? in
Here's my
costume?
guess. he's going to be a real person in the real world
Right.
who Sonic meets having come over to here.
I 100% disagree with you. I think he's
Okay.
coming over from.
So he's also a weird creature from Sonic's original world, alien,
I
essentially.
think they're going to do some horrible kind of.
That's going to be messed up,
Yeah.
though, because what's he going to look like then?
I think it's going to be some horrible halfway house between Jim Carrey's face and
Yeah.
they've kind of like.
Dr. Eggman.
He'll look just human enough to kind of.
I actually kind of hope you're right, because that would be hilarious. But I'm going to stick by my prediction, and when we've gone to see the movie, we'll see who wins. You can come up with a third prediction. I don't know if there is one.
My prediction is that Dr. Robotnik is Jim Carrey playing himself in the movie. And then he gets so obsessed with the idea of Dr. Robotnik that he becomes him.
Wow.
Wait. So sorry.
So Jim Carrey's playing Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is playing himself.
And in the context of
In the
Sonic
context-
the Hedgehog movie,
Yeah.
they are shooting Sonic the Hedgehog the movie.
This is incredible. If
So-
this is right,
Yeah, so they're shooting a movie. And they're running, like, everyone's running around with a green screen Sonic.
and he's like,
Which is a ball on a stick.
no, wait, I can do better. I
And,
can
and Jim
become
Carrey's
Robotnik.
thinking, I could create a real Sonic, and I could create him, and he could be real here on Earth. And then he creates him.
Oh,
and
so
then,
the Sonic in the movie is the charming
Is the
CGI Sonic we know and love.
Yes, but
that's a real Sonic.
But then
CGI Sonic. But then Jim Carrey creates a real version of that CGI Sonic
But that's the horrible
within the movie.
hairy monstrosity.
No, it looks like the hairy monstrosity.
No, what I'm saying is like if in the movie,
Oh, God.
there's a Sonic, a CGI Sonic, which is a ball on a stick until they add the graphics in. Does that look like classic Sonic?
Or does that look like this horrifical Sonic that we've seen in the posters?
Oh no, that looks like classic Sonic.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
And then he's like, I can do
And
it.
Jim Carrey's like, I can make a real Sonic for myself.
And he makes a hairy blue man.
And then he goes insane and he becomes Dr. Robotnik.
And
If that is the plot of this film, I'm going to eat all of my clothes.
Okay.
And that's,
Noted.
that's in keeping with this whole thing.
And we will keep the microphone running because we have
Yeah.
potentially 35 hours of storage
This is in
space.
keeping with the fact that we're talking about cartoon characters being either naked or clothed. In order to make this gambit relevant, I will
Yeah.
eat all of my clothes and render myself naked for life.
Done.
Okay?
Deal.
Great,
Wow.
that was on air. Shit.
Should we move on?
I've got hate.
Go for it.
Wow. Okay, so we really have a full spectrum of hates today.
Do you want to go somewhere in the middle, John? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm going to do. We've had a very deep hate.
Really deep.
We've had utterly pointless hate, which
Yeah.
nevertheless was fascinating.
So enriching.
Yours is very deep, though.
Thank you.
Very
Really,
cerebral.
Yeah.
Very
I'll bring a nonsense one next time.
Okay. Oh, I better do a hard one.
No, I won't- I can't think of it.
Don't
now.
spoil it
Yeah,
now.
yeah, well, wait your turn.
All right.
I hate Raynaud syndrome.
Oh my.
Oh,
Or
goodness.
let's try a different pronunciation.
Oh, do.
Renaud.
Renault?
Renaud.
The car?
You probably should have looked this up.
Well, I'm reading it. Reynolds.
I feel like I've heard of this before, but I couldn't tell you.
Have you got it?
I have it.
What is it?
Really?
Yes.
Have you been diagnosed with something now?
Yeah, give the audio quality.
It's not contagious.
Okay. Who would like to guess what this syndrome is?
Is it stomach ulcers?
No.
Is it thick richness of hair?
That ain't a syndrome.
Boy.
Um,
Is it?
I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
It's not anything internal,
Okay.
and it has something to do
With your stench.
Well, no. Again, that's not a syndrome. That's just that's a
the
choice.
problem.
Yeah. It may be weather related.
Are you allergic to rain?
No.
Are you affected by the seasons? In a mental capacity.
No. There's one season in particular.
Oh.
The one we're currently in.
Winter.
Yes, which can be quite unpleasant. I'll give you one more guess as to what it might do.
It gives you bad hands.
Yes.
Bad
This
hands.
guy. Yeah. So, basically, it's where the blood drains out of your hand. To the point where your fingers go
White.
white. Utterly
Gotcha.
white.
Right. I've seen this in people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
I have it.
All
And
right. Zombie hands.
Yeah, it's gross.
And it's
And-
affected by temperature.
well, cold, like I'm just holding up for the listener at home. I'm just holding up
Oh,
a
bloody
goodness me.
hell.
a little picture.
So this picture is of a person's hand, and it's pink, except for the fact that like 2 fingers are just completely milk bottle white.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's not my hand.
No, no, no.
Mercifully, but no, I you remember the Fiat Panda the car I used to have?
Sure do.
There was clearly something about the kind of just vibration of the car where I used to drive to work in the winter, and clearly it was cold anyway. But I had gloves on. And everything.
Yeah.
But something about the steering wheel maybe it had like a slight vibration to it, and that used to really
Like trigger it.
screw up my fingers. So yeah, I'd get to work, and it was worse from like my little finger inwards, but they'd be like utterly white, and really painful.
Yeah.
Like it hurts. It's really sore.
Shit.
And I had it, and it's better now.
Okay.
I've not really had it for a while, but it's been kicking up again in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, dear.
And I had it today as I was cycling into work, and I got to work, and the pain, it's really, really sore, and it just seems like such a failure of the human body.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like cold is bad. I know.
But the one thing we need to combat cold is circulation.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
How do you treat it then? Or you don't?
You can kind of like shake your hand a bit, try and force.
Do you get pins
blood.
and needles?
It's not like pins and needles. It's just like
Sore.
just a pain.
Oh.
It's like a deep pain.
That sounds
crazy
very unpleasant.
to think about it, because like for it to be that white means the amount of blood in your finger must be next to nothing.
We see that's gross in itself, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
if there's no blood in your finger and your finger has gone completely white,
It's dead.
but that basically means that's the colour of your skin. That's
When
the
you die.
colour of your flesh.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
That's what
yeah.
you look like when there's no blood pumping through you.
Yeah,
Gross.
so white,
What?
so pasty. Yeah. And what's crazy is like because it's not just sometimes you get like a mild one and you're like, oh my fingers are a bit a little pale. Oh that's fine, that's not bad. And then when it's really bad, you do get that kind of jet white.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a line,
Jet white.
like a kind of like just a really stark
Yeah.
boundary on your fingers where there's no blood.
That's crazy.
It's like if you've got an elastic band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Not that I'd recommend doing that.
but it's
Certainly not John.
No,
Jeez,
definitely
just fall
not
off.
this guy.
But you come
Zombie
back,
hands
He
over
doesn't
there.
need no elastic bands, this guy.
But
Whee.
you come back inside into the warm, and you think, oh, I'm warm now. Clearly, this will just fix itself instantly.
It's gonna be fine.
Boom. But it isn't. It takes a while. And I came into work today, and I had to like wrap my scarf
Pour
around
boiling
my hand
water over, yeah.
to try and. The classic one, as they say, is like get a hot drink and kind of like touch,
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
touch the mug.
Suppose you're in danger of cold chill blades, though, aren't you? Like with something like that.
What is a chill blade?
I don't really know.
don't
All I know
know,
is that
yeah.
you shouldn't warm yourself up when you've been very, very cold too quickly, because that can cause pain, and I don't know
It'll
what's happening.
inflame it or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but anyway,
That does
Shit,
sound
that
particularly unpleasant. to be
rubbish. I don't have it, so I'm fine.
I'm just annoyed because it's just like it's not life threatening. It's just kind of pointless.
It's weird how there are a few of those conditions, aren't there, that we have, and they're not like life threatening.
fair. Eczema.
Yeah, they're just a real pain in the ass. Like, it's just why?
It's kind of amazing we ever really made our way out of the jungles, really, isn't it? Like,
In 1,000 years, we may have eradicated these things.
Yeah, true.
We won't be around, but...
or maybe they'll just get worse.
Or we'll get new ones.
Yeah, they might get worse, yeah.
I'm sorry, you were trying to be optimistic, and I just.
Well, I don't care, I'll be dead.
Woo!
God willing.
Yeah, well, in 1,000 years, I'll want to be.
I'll still be.
Oh
alive.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
It's too long, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
It's
no,
too long for
yeah.
a human to live.
But we'll live on in the
You'd be,
memory of this show.
You'd be tired, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be on the internet forever.
Yeah.
Assuming someone keeps paying the hosting fees.
What, 1,000 years after we're dead?
Our digital legacy will live on.
That'll be nice.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
That'll be good for future generations to stumble across this. If you're listening to this in the year
Yeah.
3000, good for you.
Post on Facebook. Give us a hate.
Yeah, you should like us on Facebook.
Like us.
On
What's
cyber
a
Facebook?
What's a Facebook? like us on virtual hologram Facebook.
Yeah.
Give us a cerebral thumbs up on the meme sphere. Blink twice to access your data core. Oddly enough, this says a lot more about me than I perhaps realised before I started speaking. But I
Too late
suffered
now.
an attack of Reynolds syndrome or whatever while cycling back from the dentist, and the dentist was not my hate today, despite the fact that I discovered I have to have a tooth out,
Oh, shit.
which is great.
What, wisdom tooth?
Yeah, wisdom tooth. Yeah.
Ah.
Have you had that?
No, I just know it's painful from hearsay.
I think the annoying thing is that like because I was just the most boring, relatively well-behaved child, there's still that part of me which is like, even when the dentist is like, I'm afraid we're gonna have to get that wisdom tooth out, I'm like, yes, sir.
Oh, right.
Absolutely, yeah. Can I have a sticker, please? I'm just like so happy to have the attention. And also, this is weird. I like going to dentists. I like going to the dentist if only
Really?
I get to sit down. And that chair.
It's a very relaxing
You're
chair.
sitting down right now.
I know, but nothing.
Nothing compares to that chair.
Is so comfy. Yeah, I really do enjoy it.
I once went to the hospital once for some of my many issues that I've gone to the hospital for, and they gave me a painkiller like no other I've ever had.
Oh, yeah.
And I was on one of those sort of dentist-like chairs, and they just like basically just left me in the corner of a room.
Yeah.
I was on this fancy chair. They threw a blanket over me. I took these painkillers. Honestly, that is the greatest level of bliss I've ever felt in my life. That moment, I look back on that sometimes, like it was like 10 years ago. I'm like, I've never been that happy since or before. Like that was my greatest moment of my life.
When,
I was so comfortable.
Did you get the drinkable morphine?
No, it was 2 pills in a cup, and I just shot in them with some water. It was, I don't know what the fuck it was, but I want more of that.
Could have been anything.
I could be addicted to that if I had a supply of it, no question.
Well, as someone who was also no stranger to kind of gastro problems,
Woo!
when I was rushed into hospital just before we took my appendix out, I was in a lot of pain. Some might call it monumental, and it's significant and pronounced. And, they gave me like a syringe.
Oh, sure.
Because it was like, he's in a lot of pain. Quick, take this.
Stab
And they
yourself.
gave me a syringe, but
Giving
like,
this to hold.
but with full of like
To make you feel better.
but full of like a clear liquid, but without the needle.
I was just squirt it into your mouth.
Yeah, but I was like, what do I do with this? You know,
I'm in too much pain.
I can't get this into. Do you want me to get this into my skin? You know, I'd be like, no, drink it. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess you could have given me a cup, but you just kind
Why
of.
don't you give it to me in a juice box?
And it tasted like.
Jeez.
It tasted like sambuca. It was kind of like.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I like
Is that aniseed? Like
Yeah,
aniseed,
yeah, same
Yeah,
licorice.
delightful.
So, but that didn't really do anything, and the only thing that took the pain away was, as I later found out, tramadol.
Ooh. And was that a pill?
It was, yes.
Maybe that's what I had.
I didn't see the colour of it because they didn't put it in my mouth.
Put it up your bum.
Well,
I mean, he's been quite literal about it. There,
I
hasn't
believe
he?
I was inferred.
Did he put it up your bum?
They put it in my bum.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to say.
How does putting a pill up someone's bum like get to where it needs to go?
Well, it's all. If you think about it, you're really just a tube.
That's
Yeah.
hard. It's probably the most unkind thing you've ever said. It's very unkind.
You're really just a tube, and at one end is your mouth, and at the other end is your anus. And
It's also simple when you put it like that.
but it's like if you put a pill in your mouth, it would eventually dissolve.
There's a rich blood supply.
But
in your
why do
bumhole,
some
isn't there?
pills need to go up your ass and some need to go in your mouth?
I think.
And do they ever mix them up?
I don't know.
Oh, all the time.
I think sometimes it's like maybe people have difficulty swallowing, so they might be like, we're just gonna.
I remember hearing once that when you need to give someone a really big dose, it's too big to swallow. You just ram it up the old bum.
Because the size, the size of a pill is in direct relation
You
to
can't-
the power of the drug.
I don't know why you would ever think that you could take multiple pills to make up that size. It has to be one pill the size of like maybe a butt plug, say. Just jam that right up in there. Dissolve over a week or so.
I've never had a pill up my ass.
Just
right.
luxuriating that flavour.
I've had an injection in my ass.
I've had a camera up my ass and
Oh.
into my gut. That was horrific.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what the worst bit about that is watching the screen
Oh.
before it's in your ass and it's coming across the room. And you just see your bum looming on the horizon like a little pale orb. And then suddenly your bum is the whole screen and there's your bum hole. And then you're in. And I watched all of that. I watched the approach and entry to my ass.
In the interest of
God.
in the interest of frank disclosure, yes, I've had a couple of those as well. I believe I may even have discussed them on the podcast before. I can't remember.
Maybe.
The first,
Who knows? It was so long ago.
the first one, I refused sedation, and
Yeah.
I looked at the screen.
Yeah.
That was immensely painful.
I think we discussed this because
Yeah.
we agreed never look at the screen.
Yeah. And so a bit where like, okay, we're just coming up under your left rib cage at the moment, so you're going to feel a bit of pressure.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was horrible.
Great time.
Second time, I was like, yeah, sedation, please. That was like
Yes, thank you.
that just passed like a dream. That was
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
The funny thing is they have to inflate you so that the head of the camera has air coming out of it so that they can inflate your gut to see what they're looking at, which means you're full of air. So at the end you do a massive fart. Like you fart for like 20 minutes. They sent me into a special room to
A farting
fart.
room.
Yeah. still smelt the guy before me.
Oh, God.
It's a family experience, really.
This has been a very varied podcast.
We've had it all.
What a good comeback.
What a comeback.
Should we get into the loves?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's got a love? You.
Go
So
on.
just for point of order though,
Yeah.
like in this show we do often take stuff from the public, don't we?
We do often.
But we're
yeah.
not doing that for this
No, we're
episode.
not going to.
We're gonna kick that off next.
Please start submitting them again, though.
Yeah, please get involved.
Yes,
in it.
indeed.
Please
yeah.
and thank you.
Get involved on the Facebook group, which
Do
you
it.
can find online.
Yeah, on facebook.com. I
Yes.
believe. Yeah.
Search for it.
/ whatever our domain is.
Who the hell cares? Go for it, Chris.
Don't
Tell
know
us your
what it
love.
is.
Take
Well,
Cleanse. that
Clench.
hate. Give something. Lovely.
well, I'm enjoying just being a bit more active in the new year.
Oh, get
I would-
you.
Just generally speaking, I'm walking the dog a lot more.
Mm.
Went and did a nice long walk on the beach down in Breen
Nice.
the other day. I bought a bike, as I mentioned. I cycled here.
You cycled
Mm.
it.
I'm cycling to work now.
And you looked very stylish with your Kellogg's cornflakes shiny.
It was good, wasn't it?
Shiny.
Yeah, those
little-
spoke clackers that slide up and down.
Yeah.
15
I'm just-
years.
Yeah, I know.
They're great.
It's from my old bike, and I'm enjoying being a bit more active and just getting out and
Great.
being outdoors, being a bit more outdoorsy.
Nerd.
I know. It's the simple things.
It's the little things,
It's the
isn't
simple
it?
things.
Little things in it when you get
That's
a bit
sort of
older.
where I am, really. New Year, I want to
New
get
outlook,
out and
new,
do more, and
Great.
lovely.
It's kind of sickening, isn't it? Like, I never imagined I'd get to a point in my life where I'm like, I'm going to enjoy a walk.
I'm going to walk for 10 minutes. I love it.
This is how it happens. This is
Going
how it
for a
begins.
walk with a dog is probably my favourite thing to do.
Oh.
That is
Yeah.
genuinely what's making me consider getting a dog.
Yeah.
Is that like I have to go out and walk, and
Oh, that is literally what it is now.
I like
I have to
that
walk the
idea,
dog,
actually.
otherwise she will not
she will
leave
murder
me
you.
alone.
Yeah.
I have to do it, and I enjoy doing it, so it's great.
Mm.
And cycling is sort of put on top of that.
Bolted
Just-
on.
Yeah, I'm feeling just good about it.
Great stuff.
I can definitely get behind that. The flip side is that I've been cycling to work for nearly a year, and that's been wonderful.
All right. Jesus.
This guy.
I still haven't found the place.
Yeah, it's like literally for a year.
I hope they pay me. But no, I've been cycling to work for nearly a year, and I've got to say, in coming back from the Christmas holidays, and actually being right back into the thick of it, it's been super busy at work. I have actually driven quite a fair bit in the last couple of weeks.
Boo.
I'm treating myself. This is my gift to me.
No.
Yeah.
I've got to say,
Well, as it gets lighter though, John, you're going to have no excuses.
well, yeah, indeed. But I've got to say, it's for cold and it's for dark, and like cycling, physical exertion, exercise. It's wonderful. Sitting in a car is also amazing because I get to work and I'm not knackered and I can just kind of stroll. I like float into the office.
Good morning, everybody.
Mm.
No, screw that.
Also, Lucy and I are taking up yoga.
Oh,
Really?
Yes,
yoga.
indeed.
What are you doing that at home? Or are you going to a class?
We're
or-
going to a class. We've
Is
got our
that,
first
is that on
session.
top of Bushido?
It's on top of our martial arts, yeah.
Wonderful.
So that is starting next Tuesday.
Oh, delightful.
I'm looking forward to that.
Wow. So you're going to go from one. Is it
Extreme.
a martial art? No.
Yes, it is.
Is it? Yoga is. Yeah.
No, sorry.
I know Bushido is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Bushido.
Like,
Yoga's-
yoga is not.
It's an exercise of sorts.
Yeah. No, not a martial art.
But
It's
an
about
art.
flexibility and calmness
core.
and core.
Oh, tell me how it goes. I'd be interested.
Really?
Well, I mean, I'm interested.
In the context of the show.
Yeah, in terms of the persona I'm trying to put across on the show
Yeah,
as someone who people might like,
Right.
I'm interested.
I
But
see, just
generally, no, I don't give a shit. No.
I'm interested, but
No.
please don't assume I care.
Yeah, no, I'd be interested to see how you get on and see if it's fun. I don't know anyone who does yoga, so. Well, I know Lucy, and I know Lucy does it, but I know she hasn't done a class.
I will listen to what you have to say about it.
That's the promise you'll.
That's about all I can guarantee.
Because you're
Nice.
and you're interested in
Oh, don't push it, John.
trying it out.
Oh no! Go
No,
heavens!
oh,
Oh
no,
heavens!
heavens,
No! No!
heavens, no.
No! But I'd be interested to see how much it hurts you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, I am.
Much like my hate was kind of the opposite in tone to yours,
Sure.
my love is kind of the opposite in message.
Okay.
Um,
You don't like cycling.
You love it when people apologise online.
I love a Greg's sausage roll.
Oh!
Love a Greg's sausage roll. Like, not many people get the sausage roll right, but Greg's get it right.
Greg's breakfast might be the greatest thing in the world.
Wow.
There, I said it.
What's the
Breakfast, you get
What you mean the BAP?
a bap.
Yeah, that's
You
good.
get a bap with 3 sausages,
Okay.
and if you want some sauce, you can have some free sauce.
You can have red or brown.
How are
Red or
sausages
brown.
arranged? Are we talking like
Sliced.
It's
in-
like a
Oh no, they're not sliced, are
tip
they?
to toe or like
No, like
It's like a square roll,
side by side.
sort of thing.
Okay.
Standard roll,
Yeah.
square.
Square.
And
Square
there's
roll.
3 sausages. No, wait, 3.
It is 3.
3. 1, 2, 3.
I've had it.
That's a lot.
Just lined
Are
up.
they sliced?
No,
No, 3.
but they're like
They're
chipolatas.
chipolatas.
Ah.
But they're
It's
very
very tasty, and you get a coffee
You get
as well.
and all of that.
£2.
Yeah.
£2
Bargain.
for all that.
But normally a sausage roll would be something I would stay away from because they're underwhelming or shit.
Yeah, they are. That's true.
But I like a Greg's sausage roll.
When I think of you, Nick, I often think of you eating some form of sausage sandwich.
So when you picture me, just generally,
Yeah,
just when I pop into your head in any form,
When I think
It's
of
a very
when I
erotic
think of the
thing
good
to be
times,
using,
yeah.
isn't it?
when you think of the good times, you
Yeah.
just I'm holding a pork product.
Yeah,
In maybe one or both hands.
More times than not, yeah.
I'm actually eating one right now.
And it's like when I'm, it's like in it's final act of a movie.
Yes.
My university, we're competing against, Pawsville or something like that. We're really, he just got it. Yeah, he's like, we're gonna win. But I'm flagging and I'm heading for that finish line, and
Yeah.
you appear as like the ghostly image, like inspiring me.
Yeah.
And you do have a sausage roll.
You have a
in your
sausage
mouth.
roll.
In my,
Held-
not in my hand.
Held aloft like this.
You could do it, John.
I've got one in each hand, one in my mouth, one in my head.
You're both in a relay race at the end of this movie, and instead of handing you the baton, Nick hands you a sausage roll.
I just lob a sausage roll on the back of your head.
Go, John! Go!
And then I'm running with a sausage roll, and I look back, and you already have another sausage roll.
And I'm just
in
like,
your-
yes. I'm just like nodding you on.
taking bites out. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get like a stitch, and it's like, oh, we've lost the race.
I
And
found
then,
out that Iceland has a very special relationship with Greg's.
The country.
No, the shop. In the sense that you can buy the Greg's pastries in frozen format
Oh.
from their
What,
Chester
just-
Freezer
Just
Superstore.
empty, so you can insert your sausage. of
Your own
choice.
nondescript meat
Yeah.
of choice. No.
No.
That like
Tell me
literally.
more.
I'll tell you more.
Tell me more.
Here's how it is. So you know how Greg's, all of their stuff's frozen. They just whack it in an oven, cook it, put it on a shelf.
I don't know.
How dare you?
It's true.
I've never met.
I don't believe you.
You've never met Greg.
I've never met Greg. He's got a really special relationship with Iceland. I don't know.
The thing is Greg his first name or his last name?
Well, it is Greg's.
There's many
Yeah, but is
Gregs.
he Greg like Rutherford, or is
Yes,
he
he's Greg Rutherford.
like the long jumpist,
Oh, right.
Oh.
No.
or is he
who
is he
famously jumped on a very long sausage?
is he Mr.
Jumped on his own
Greg?
sausage.
Is he Mr. Greg?
I think he's Greg G because Greg's is spelled with 2 G's at the
Yeah, he
end.
was the saxophonist in the early 90s.
Yo, it's your boy Greg G. Here,
I
front
don't.
of the
Yeah,
saxophone
that's
solo.
one of life's questions.
Maybe it's both, because like I said, it's plural. It's two
Greg.
Gregs.
Greg.
Have you not had a Greg sausage roll, John?
No.
I'm gonna bring
Ah.
one. I'm gonna bring one to our next show. You can
Please
have-
do. Oh, the taste test. Yeah. And because you will have purchased it at lunchtime, it will be very cold.
Yeah, no, I'll get one of the Iceland ones and I'll cook it fresh for you in
great.
your house.
Cook 'em here. Your
I will
house will
soil-
smell like Greg's for a
I will
week.
soil your oven with a Greg sausage roll. It's great. Your turn.
I felt this was going to be some vegan sausage roll.
Well, that
thing.
is a
Yeah.
big topic at the
I
moment.
wanted to try it, but unfortunately, the Greg's I was at, I had a Greg sausage roll today, which is why it's on my mind.
Yeah.
And I was hoping to have one of their what they call savoury rolls.
Is that what they call them now?
That's what they call
Oh,
it.
piss off.
Can I just say, like, I've seen this debacle
Piers Morgan?
unfolding online.
Oh, don't mention him.
And,
Sorry, it's the show called Hey. Of course, I can mention Piers Morgan.
And it's like
not in the love section.
It's one of the situations where I've actually looked at it and gone, no, I don't need to read more. So I haven't followed the story. So can I assume that people are annoyed that vegans have that Greg's have expanded their menu?
No, only Piers Morgan seems to be annoyed. Everyone else is fine with it.
Should we send someone to check on him?
I think
Is he okay?
I hope he's not.
He'll be dead soon.
Yeah.
Like for whatever reason, whether it's his own idiocy just eventually just overpowering his brain and killing him with a stroke in the night, or he will be lynched. Whatever it is, he's only got a couple of weeks.
Is that because he's only hate eating Greg sausage rolls now, like to make a point? Like
Yeah.
he's eating
Thing is,
nothing
and
but
there's
Greg.
just
Piers
no
Morgan
chance.
doesn't believe half of what he says. He just desperately wants to be part of the news.
Yeah, that is so true.
That's all it is.
Bless.
There's nothing inside him other than
pastry.
Yeah.
And
What you
and
find
bile.
inside a savoury roll.
By the way, this is just on the subject of food.
Cool.
I walked into the kitchen at work earlier, and
Ooh.
I noticed that somebody had put
What's got a
out
kitchen at work?
somebody put out some like food, like some free food. Like
Oh
out
yeah,
on
eat
sale.
it.
And
Eat the shit out of it.
one of them was a box of cumin big minis,
The hell?
and
How? What's a big mini?
that's the thing. I don't.
That could be a hate in itself, John. You should have saved that.
There's no. That's the thing. There's no punchline to that. It's simply
Big minis.
I'm actually kind of happy that something called a cumin big mini exists.
But
in
what
the world.
are there cumin minis?
Ah, maybe there are minis and these are the big minis. I still
Or are
take
there
issue with
cumin
that.
bigs?
You can have bigs and you can have minis, but no big minis. Sorry.
That's medium.
Give us your love, John. This has been going on far too long.
Well, I think just to kind of like bring things to a close.
Round it out.
Shuddering climax.
My my love.
Is
Good
there
God.
a show called Like?
How does this show work?
A show called Ambivalence.
My love is actually an album.
Oh.
So it's also a recommendation.
This is one of our famous recommendation.
It does-
We should have a sound.
We should have
We
So,
should, yeah.
It doesn't.
You can put one in there.
It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally we do just say, "Here is a piece of art I'm enjoying. Go."
Can
check it
I
out."
predict what you're going to say?
Oh yeah, go on. Yeah.
Pictish Trail.
No.
No, that was his last time. He wouldn't do that
was it?
It's
again.
old news, old face.
No, I'm not
No,
gonna
you
get it.
ain't
I won't
gonna
guess
get it,
again.
no.
I won't get it.
No, this is an artist called Alex Cameron.
Okay.
I wouldn't have got that.
In
He's
relation to David Cameron?
yes, no, they're co-workers.
That's weird. We've got the same last name.
David Cameron doesn't have a job anymore, does he? Since he marched us all off a cliff.
Oh yeah, no, he works as a musician.
Yeah,
Since he marches us off a cliff.
it's a one-man band.
You could argue that's what the UK.
Pied Piper, yeah, Oxford Dover. Anyway, no. So this is an artist called Alex Cameron and an album called Forced Witness.
Forced Witness.
And
Oh.
it's kind of amazing.
What sort of music are we talking about?
Funk.
No, it's like a kind of. It's his second album.
Okay.
His solo album. So he was in like an electronica band.
Ooh, I like that electronica they're
And
making
then
these
his
days.
first album is his solo album is a little bit electric.
A little bit electric, as they say.
Yeah, and I've got to listen to a bit of that.
Sure.
His second album though is very different.
Oh.
He's got a great voice. He's actually friends with the Killers,
Ah!
and Brandon Flowers, lead singer of the Killers, does backing vocals. on the
Oh.
album. And it turns out that Alex Cameron actually co-wrote like 4 tracks on the Killers' latest album.
Is that right?
Now, interestingly, like
Is he local?
No, he's an Aussie. I believe.
Oh.
But
It's
interestingly,
local to this planet.
He's local to Australia.
but the album is Forced Witness, and I'm going to play a little bit now.
Oh.
Can be me. I think I'm dying. Yeah, 'cause I'm frail and I'm tired, and I constantly complain about the pain I'm in. But can you me? She knows me better, yeah, she knows my ways.
Oh, that was really.
That was fantastic.
That was
Amazing.
so good.
That definitely wasn't a 3-second gap. That we
For
just-
the listener, we didn't hear anything.
But that was a track called Candy May, which is the opening track on the album.
Do we have the rights to that track, John?
Well, I think for the purpose of like
Fair use.
Oh, for a review.
and
We're
playing
reviewing it,
playing
that's
like a
right,
few
yes.
Apparently,
songs.
we're a review show now.
Yeah, we are a review show. Yeah,
Yeah.
The hottest tracks on a show called Hate.
Welcome
Welcome.
to
Hi.
Music Hour.
Hi.
For 2 minutes now, we will talk about music.
Hi. Yes. But no, and it's very kind of sad. He's like a.
Oh, good. I'm glad you put that in the love bit there.
He's almost like. Hear me out. He's almost like.
Hear me out, dick.
Hear me out, mouth. Right? He's almost like a crooner. It's like like a
Oh.
retro.
Like
Okay.
Roy Orbison.
And there's a degree of Roy Orbison. Now,
Okay.
imagine that Roy Orbison
Okay.
only.
I'm picturing him. He's got a sausage roll in his hand.
Okay, Roy Orbison.
He's wearing sunglasses.
Only he's a pervert.
Right.
Mm.
Okay, so he's got
Okay.
a sausage roll in his mouth.
I think this is the thing I find really interesting. Is like if you were so many artists, so many performers now are like, I'm gonna record a song, I'm gonna record an artist, I'm gonna record an album, and it's gonna be about love, or it's just gonna be
The
about
beautiful flower that is love.
yeah, and it's very generic. You're just singing about these broad universal themes.
Sure.
And on this album, it's actually quite a bold choice, I think, where all his songs are about like, it's like if he'd been born 50 years earlier, he'd be singing like a dirty pub, and like everyone would be nursing pints and listening to like this horribly beautiful but heartbreaking music. But in the modern day, it's all about the internet and like being like a weird sex pervert. And it's interesting that like
You've actually just won me over with just this last sentence.
But it's interesting that you would record a whole album about being a bad person.
Oh, okay.
You know, and Lucy and I did a bit of research about him, and apparently he's almost like he's playing a persona.
Cool.
Like he has a character as a solo performer where he's a failed
musician,
entertainer.
I like it.
He's a young guy. He actually, oddly enough, he looks. I was telling Lucy about him, and I said he looks like an evil version of my brother. And she googled him. I was like, oh, he does.
Oh, I have to look up this. Yeah.
So his name's Alex Cameron, and amazing opening track called Candy May, which is really just kind of like sad and heartbreaking, and just really, he's got this amazing kind of like quiver in his voice sometimes, and you go, oh god, that's just like, and he's got another song called True Lies, and it's all about just being obsessed with like women online and just being like a dirty man, and yet it's like these weird like filthy kind of lyrics over like just the most kind of like beautiful, heartbreaking kind of
yes, we're looking at pictures of it.
Yeah. And it's amazing, and I got to admire someone who's kind of confident enough to make a whole album about being like a disgusting
kind of a
pervert.
dick.
You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's kind of bold in a way, and I'm sure he's actually a lovely person. Because if he genuinely was like a weird sex pervert, I don't think he'd have the awareness to make an album
I think
about
it's fairly self-explanatory of that fact. Yeah,
and it's like and not every song is weird like that. There's some kind of like normal songs, but like he does a lovely duet with a lady I'm not familiar with and whose name's currently escaped me, and that is just astonishingly beautiful.
Oh wow!
So that's my hot recommendation. It's
Very good.
Alex Cameron and Forced Witness.
Nice.
And it is standout tracks being True Lies, Politics of Love, and Candy May. They are amazing.
Wonderful.
Excellent stuff.
Good for you, John.
John's music
Good for
minute.
all of us.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's really been a roller coaster of an episode,
Hasn't
hasn't
it?
Yeah, it's been very varied, I'd say.
There was a lot of us. A lot of
No
stuff to get
specific
out.
tone, I feel.
No, all over the shop, you might say.
Woefully underprepared.
These are all words that have been used in the past to describe a show called Hate.
These are all words you may want to consider in your iTunes review, which would be immensely helpful.
If you want to give us an iTunes review.
But, gentlemen, the most important question of the evening is, what won, love or hate?
I think it's got to be Hate.
I think hate because I'm still angry about Scrappy Doo's English.
I think hate as well, because I think it's the kind of hate that keeps giving.
Yeah.
Because it's a hate that has generated discussion.
We've got more to talk about, and off air it will continue, I'm sure.
Yeah, and maybe
No, I've got to go home.
Yeah, me too, actually. Fuck this.
Yeah, I've seen enough of you guys. Let's leave it another year this time. So I think we can all agree that hate won this week.
I agree.
Absolutely.
And as a little thing we threw out there, just in like 5 minutes before.
The new idea.
Yeah.
I think... I personally believe that Nick had the standout hate.
I believe so.
Oh,
I
you
agree
guys,
with
So
that.
So Nick, because you brought such a wonderful gift to the table,
I did.
we would like to offer you the soapbox. Like, if this is your moment to speak to the world, how would you set the world to rights?
This is my chance to sort things out. Well, you know, I guess when it comes down to cartoon characters, maybe what we need to do is you've had this hot idea. You know, hey, shark snails, that's going to be a new thing, right? I've got this idea for snails. They'll have shark fins on their backs. It's going to be the next DuckTales. It even rhymes with DuckTales. Shark snails, woo! So that's good, right?
I'm not sure you can have the same theme tune.
No, you can, because it's different words.
Yeah,
Legally, it's fine.
Legally,
it's fine.
that's
Do
fine.
they live in Slugberg?
Yeah, they do.
And some,
Except they're snails. So
snail.
are they like they're like the upper class of Slugberg? That's fine.
We could
We
develop
don't need to
this.
get into this. This is my soapbox. Get the fuck off my soapbox.
We could develop this. It's a loner.
Here's my new idea. And what am I going to do? I'm going to design the lead shark snails extended family, right down to second cousins, from the off. Like, it's going to be in my concept pitch material to Hanna-Barbera. I'm going to have the whole family down, and they're not going to be wearing clothes. And they don't need to, because I'll have established all of their features in advance.
But wouldn't the original shark snail be?
See, it's catching.
Would he be a plain one, or does he have accessories, or
No,
she?
Yeah, he'd be plain. Yeah.
But then they'd all be based around him.
Yeah, it'd be really
Or
hard.
her.
I think I'm fucked. Actually, I don't think I don't think it can be done.
It
I
could be
think-
one of our projects we develop this year. We've got a project we need to develop this year,
Yes,
haven't we,
indeed,
John?
yes. No,
We've
keep
been talking
backing
about
it.
for like
Keep putting it on the back
6
burner,
years.
What about duck butcher?
Oh, I think,
Butcher duck.
Tasmanian butcher.
I think what we're really saying is we have to spare a thought for wife butcher duck.
Yes, for wife butcher duck and all the NPCs of all of our cartoon heroes, because at the end of the day, somewhere in their towns is a wife butcher duck, and we need to think about her.
How do we? I think we should bring this to an end. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sticking with us. We're very glad to be back.
Yeah,
If you're listening,
We'll be returning.
we
Well,
need to look at the
indeed.
stats for this episode.
We've got to assume that somebody's listening.
get on the internet, give us a like, send us a hate, and we'll feature in the next episode.
And we will be returning
Maybe
now.
if it's good.
We-
If it's a good one.
We're now returning to a fortnightly publishing schedule. So
Yeah.
it's good to be back
We are committed.
in our sexy new studio.
Woo woo woo!
And I'm going to check the audio, and it's going to sound awful.
Yeah,
I think it'll be good.
Does it sound good?
I think it'll be good.
Oh, okay.
that'll be an ASMR quality.
So how are we going to end
the usual sign off.
this episode?
Well, we should probably do like the traditional sign.
traditional
Yeah.
sign off.
Let's do
Yeah.
the
Because
traditional
we're back now, it's the traditional sign.
My,
So
my memory's a little
so-
hazy. Cause,
Okay.
you know,
yours is hazy.
Yeah,
You lead us in,
yeah,
Chris.
Yeah, well,
I'm drinking Thatcher's Haze.
Okay.
Actually, see, that was good, wasn't it?
Cool.
So we'll do the normal one, which goes like this.
don't.
Don't.
Shark snails.
Uh,